Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. I'm United States Attorney David Toepfer, and we're here today because we'd like to announce the results of a significant crime-fighting initiative we call Operation Northern Shield. But first, I'd like to give my thanks to all of our federal, state, and local partners that helped us accomplish these results, specifically the police departments from the cities of Akron, Cleveland, Canton, Elyria, Lorain, Mansfield, Toledo, and Youngstown. Our state partners from the Ohio State Highway Patrol, the Adult Parole Authority, and also our federal partners, the ATF, DEA, FBI, and Homeland Security. This operation originated earlier this year as we began to formulate a strategy to combat violent crime. We looked at what worked in the past and also what didn't. Typically, the usual approach was to surge resources but focus only on one area at a time. However, crime is everywhere. And as we explored what we would do, we looked at what it would take to expand our efforts across the entire region for the Northern District of Ohio. Operation Northern Shield was the first of its kind in our region by targeting several metropolitan areas all at once. Historically, rising temperatures in the summer months tend to correlate with a rise in violent crime, and so we needed to act swiftly across our entire region and not just in one area. So we made efforts to hit all the hot spots and support the violent crime reduction efforts of the U.S. Attorney's Office as well as the Northern Ohio Violent Crime Consortium. This operation was led by the United States Marshal Service, who coordinated with about 20 state, local, and federal partners to accomplish these goals. Our law enforcement partners identified the worst offenders that they knew were the drivers of violent crime, as well as those with outstanding arrest warrants. The planning for this operation prioritized individuals who were known to be associated with violent criminal activity and gang involvement after being identified through local crime analysis. These individuals were wanted for crimes of violence such as homicide, manslaughter, assault, robbery, and sex offenses. Other offenses involved human trafficking, firearms violations, and drug trafficking. The Marshals designated an enforcement period for each participating city, which was coordinated in advance with local law enforcement. Additional personnel from the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force and other supporting partners that you see represented on this stage were temporarily deployed to carry out the mission. Although the investigations were conducted in separate areas, the impact of our efforts is collective. Between May and July, approximately 684 people were arrested under Operation Northern Shield. Nearly 200 firearms have been seized, along with varying amounts of fentanyl, crack, methamphetamine, cocaine, and other illicit drugs. Approximately 264 of these arrests came from surges in the individual cities, and additional 355 arrests came from across the district. Many of those apprehended will face state charges, and we expect a portion of these will be referred to my office for federal prosecution where appropriate, including for people who possess firearms despite being convicted felons and having a history of violent felony offenses. Among the approximately 25 individuals currently facing federal charges are Sidney Booty, a previously convicted felon who is allegedly found possessing an illegal firearm, a silencer, and methamphetamine which he intended to sell. Others facing federal charges include Marcus Brown and Terrence Montgomery, who are allegedly part of a drug conspiracy that trafficked fentanyl, crack, and cocaine. They are also charged with engaging in interstate racketeering activity. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard the good news recently that overall, crime is down across the country. The bad news is that, unfortunately, criminals will continue to be criminals, and so we cannot be complacent. We will continue to hunt down those who destroy lives and crumble communities with each act of violence. We are committed to making Northern Ohio a safe place where you can live in peace, raise your families, and enjoy a vibrant community life. This type of operation is an incredible feat of collaboration that comes from the strong partnerships represented on this stage today. And it is just the beginning. For now, I'd like to welcome to the podium for some remarks my colleague, United States Marshal Peter Elliott.
Thank you, sir. I talk with my hands a lot, so one time I hit the microphone with Mike DeWine right beside me, so anything's possible today, so just be ready. But good morning. Thank you all for being here today. I want to start by recognizing the tremendous effort behind this operation, Operation Northern Shield. What you are seeing here today is a result of 8 weeks of coordinated work in an operation that resulted in, as the U.S. Attorney said, 684 arrests with 29 gang members arrested, with nearly 200 firearms because of our partners at ATF taken off the streets, and large amount of narcotics with our friends at the DEA and the FBI who took those narcotics firearms off of the streets. The Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force, we have more than 350 part-time and full-time officers. During each week of Operation Northern Shield, our teams were brought in from across the district to focus in our NOVCC cities of Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Elyria, Lorraine, Mansfield, Toledo, and Youngstown to support and multiply the resources needed for that specific area targeted that week. Operations like this do not happen because of one department. They happen because agencies choose to share information, resources, and the overall goal of making our communities across Northern Ohio safer. So thank you to all our chiefs and all our federal, state, and local partners in our 8 NOVCC cities. And thank you to all the members of the Northern Ohio Violent Fugitive Task Force throughout the Northern District of Ohio, including the leaders within my own agency, Chief Deputy Brian Fitzgibbon, Assistant Chief Deputy Ann Murphy, and Coordinator Brandon Stallworth. I also want to thank our outstanding U.S. Attorney, Dave Toepfer, for his leadership during this operation. He was phenomenal. In addition to thanking all partners and all the leadership here today, I want to personally thank each and every single officer and analyst who put in the long hours to make this operation very successful. Operation Northern Shield means fewer dangerous individuals are on the streets today, and we have safer neighborhoods. The impact of Northern Shield is only possible because these agencies did not work in silos. They worked as one team. This is what multi-agency operations look like. Different patches, different uniforms, different chains of command, but one mission. My thanks again to every agency and every officer who made today possible. We will continue to work throughout Northern Ohio moving forward. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Assistant Chief Deputy Ann Murphy,